Hello, legends. How are we all doing today? Thank you so much for coming in. We are doing a very raw and unfiltered video today. Ooh, spooky, right? But in seriousness, this has been a weight that's been on my chest for a little while, to the point where I've actually been debating whether to do a video like this, because, a lot of people in the content space don't want to come across like they're complaining or bitching or anything. However, most of my video today is actually going to be pretty positive, looking on the bright side, being optimistic and everything. However, it got to the point where it was a bit of a weight on me, and I felt like I'd probably be doing myself a disservice by not posting this video. So here it is. And, in a nutshell, just basically a hypothesis of what's going on today. Geez, that's a big word, and I've almost forgotten the definition. But to round up today, it's been quite a crazy journey the last 8 years, and a journey that I'm very, very thankful of. It does come with a little bit of a cost and a few cons, of course. Most of it's very, very positive, and obviously I want to talk about the positive things first. Thanks to you guys for the last, I've been doing this for 8 years, been able to do it full time for about six and a half. Six probably, to be fair. I'm very thankful for you guys. I mean, really, I mean, it's easy for me to say so. I need to show it in my actions. I think I do with the amount that I'm on every week. But seriously, as much weight as they possibly have, my words, I really do want to say thank you. At the end of the day, if it's not for you guys, my life wouldn't be what it is. I mean, say what you will, but I've never really been the kind of guy that's been built for a 9 to 5. I'm not above it or beneath it or anything like that. It's just I'm wired a little bit different. I mean, for the last 20 years, I've always found some way to get by with an odd job here and there or whatever, but it was never one that was so fruitful or one that allowed me to have a pretty decent life, you know what I mean, until the content space came along and blessed me. And when I say came along and blessed me, I mean more specifically the community. You guys made this happen. So I just want to say a big thank you. I think the one thing that I sometimes take for granted the most is I'm not an overly rich person, but I'm rich in one area, and that is the fact that I can work wherever I want with what I do. And so really I'm only tied down by the shore, plane ticket, whatever. I do take that for granted sometimes. That's the biggest blessing in my life. At the end of the day, I have an international girlfriend. If I was only able to take like 1 week off a year, I wouldn't be able to maintain this. Again, you guys made this possible. So again, I just want to say thank you so much. And yeah, there's just so much to be thankful for. I mean, I'm going off topic a little bit, but I really want to start this off positive. I think doing this for 8 years does come at a little bit of a cost. You might be wondering what cost that is. I guess it's a bit more of a spiritual and a mental cost, more than a financial cost. I guess to address the other elephant in the room, this is not a conversation about money. There's going to be upturns, downturns. My situation's gotten better, and it's gotten worse over the whole 8 years that I've done this. I've always managed to adapt and overcome one way or another. So nothing to do with that. But sometimes I feel like I'm left carrying a very, very heavy load, I think, from the community, even if it's not always intentional. And what I mean by that is, after doing this for 8 years, I guess I'll speak from my point of view. First of all, after doing this for 8 years, I have that pressure of constantly adapting. Because if you're in the entertainment space, the art state, you either adapt or die. No objection, no question about that, you know what I mean? You've got so many people in the music space who have gone in hot and then just dipped out because they haven't been able to adapt or change their style or their look or their sound. It's no different here. It's my responsibility to keep adapting or I'm going to disappear. I think overall I can be quite proud of myself. I have done that. Multiple different shows. I've gone from just being a little bit of an arrogant streamer to now expanding to other types of content, AI art, which is probably not, a polarizing topic. Not everyone likes AI, but that's fine. That's not all I do, of course. Reels, various offline videos, my music project, reactions, things like that. 5 to 6 hours of streaming a day minimum. These all come at a heavy cost and a commitment, by the way. Even though I've provided a big entertainment space, I kind of feel like, from my point of view, I've got the pressure a lot from the community always going, oh, well, what's next? Or you used to do this better. And I'm not going to use any specific examples on anything that people pine for or miss, because I don't want people to feel like they're being singled out. But I feel like the danger I'm now hitting after 8 years in the content space is, I'll give an example of a time period during COVID. It was a really rough time, obviously. We don't need to be talking about the specifics of it. We all know what went on. But a lot of people were able, while they were stuck at home and going through some pretty rough times, were able to come into One Coin Only in a safe space and have a lot of fun. And I was a very big distraction for a lot of people during that time period, because there was nothing else to do. You couldn't work. You couldn't go outside and do other hobbies. So I was like a haven for those who were bored. And I was very, very thankful to be able to offer that, even though probably at the time I took it for granted. And so obviously there was a lot of really good memories that came out of that for people. And so I sometimes think when people pine for things that I used to do or the past, I think they're pining for that memory, which is not a good thing, actually, because it makes me think, okay, maybe you miss what we were and you're not looking forward to where we are going. And so I think, yeah, it's always a case of, I think I've done a great job of adapting and overcoming, but at the same time, people are always going to be bored with you, no matter how well-intentioned they are. This is unfortunately a parasocial kind of deal as well, because on my side, I'm not going to pretend that I don't want to profit and make a great living, but I really want to build solid connections with people. I look at the people that come in as, some of them, not everyone. I mean, we have some dickheads, of course. I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass, but there's a lot of people that I look at as my friends that I see every day. And then, I can't speak for other people, but when I try to look at it logically from the other side of you, I'm there to provide entertainment. And I do think some people do see me as a friend while they're getting that entertainment, but it's also conditional. And so once that entertainment's not being fulfilled, or your interests change, or inevitably you have a different interest, you'll pack up and walk, and fair enough. But as a human being, I'm left sort of wondering, okay, well, I guess I don't have a friend anymore. And I know I'm trying to make it sound over dramatic, but I think I'm just carrying a little bit of mental baggage now after 8 years, because no matter how many hoops I jump in and know how many times I evolve or reinvent myself, there's always, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I liked when you used to do this. It was always much more fun when you did this. Hey, how about you did this? And I'm just like, I just feel like I'm doing mental gymnastics these days with it all. It's just becoming very, very overwhelming. I am doing my best. And I think the hardest thing for me is I don't feel like my body of work gets acknowledged enough, because as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, it is a privilege to be able to do what I do. There's no ifs or buts about that. But it's still work. Streaming 5 to 6 hours a day, doing reels every day, pictures every day, offline content every day. Even in the summer, now that I'm not doing a second stream a day, I'm still doing 8 to 9 hours of work a day. That might not sound like much. It sounds like a normal work day. And to be fair, it is. And I'm not out in the sun pouring concrete or laying gravel or anything. But it's every day. I don't take a day off. As I said, my one privilege is my freedom. As I said, I'm sitting in the bedroom here in Sakonnakhon in Thailand. I'm with my girl. Life is pretty good. And I do have a few hours to spend with her every night. But being on every day does play a weight. And I really am doing my best. And quite frankly, if I'm going to be honest with you, if I'm doing more than 8 or 9 hours, 7 days a week, I'm not going to be able to mentally deliver the entertaining product and energy that you guys deserve. And so I can promise I'm really doing my best. Unfortunately, the biggest obstacle I'm having right now is outside my stream and the content I'm making. I don't really have the time or energy left to practice a lot of video games. Most of the games I learn are experimental on the fly. So yeah, anyway, again, I'm not bitching too much. I am a little bit, but not too much. The point is I really am giving 100% and my best. But, you know, sometimes everyone's like, you should do this, this, this. I want more, 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 more. And I feel like through my chat sometimes I'm like, look, guys, do you realize how much I'm doing? I'm really doing my absolute best, giving you guys everything that I am. Can you not see this? And the most disheartening thing is I'm just met with crickets. It's like a little bit of emotional laziness. It's like, oh, not our problem, whatever. I guess to a point you're right. I mean, it's not your problem. But, I mean, we're all in this together. I like to think that even though I'm not offering a massive amount of productivity to society, I'm offering something, a haven for people to forget their troubles, at least for a little while every day. Even if it's just for another band of misfits like me. I'm a misfit. You know, all us misfits need a place to hang out too. Yeah, I just guess I'm just saying all I'm doing is doing my very best. I just, more than anything, more than the super chats or the star donations or the subs or the followage or anything like that, I just like, I more than anything would love people to look at me and be like, hey, you know what, Rick? We appreciate the effort you're going to. We can see it. It's enough. But I feel like these days I'm just holding the burden that it isn't enough. And it's just been very, very hard for me. With that being said, now we got that negativity out of the way. There's a lot of positives going into the future. As far as like momentum's going, I mean, we're growing by about over 400 plus subs a month on YouTube, which is incredible. We're getting about a few hundred followers a month at the moment again on Facebook. Everything's going really, really well. I mean, I have my up days and my down days. The live streams are starting to catch fire on YouTube. I think that's pretty cool. Hopefully everyone is enjoying them for the most part. And, you know, I'm trying to trust in the process and just keep pushing. I just want people to be on my side. If one coin only is not what you're after anymore, that's perfectly okay. There's another stream you can go into. I mean, there's a million of them on the internet. I'm so happy that you guys miss where we've been and appreciate what we've done. But I hope you guys are looking forward to the future like me. I do know human beings are creatures of comfort. And people sometimes put themselves in a paradox where they're comfortable without change, but they always pine for something different. And so it almost seems like it's a vicious cycle. And that leaks into my industry as well, which makes it very hard. You know, it's not appreciated when I'm evolved, and then everyone complains that they're bored when I do what works. And it's just, you know, it's a vicious cycle with what I'm doing too. But I'm going to keep trying to adapt and keep moving forward. I know in my heart, logically, how much effort I'm putting into this. Hopefully you guys would like to follow me on this journey. If not, you're welcome to get off at the next station. It is getting to the point where I may even have to block some people if they stay on my back and complain that what I do is not enough, because I know I'm giving it my all and I have to protect my peace at this point. And yeah, right now, even though there's a lot of positives to take out of everything, feeling a lot of turmoil.